Hello folks, it's David from the Bonkers Cookery School. What I wanted to do today, someone sent me a challenge at the last live event, so they told me, well they asked, if I could do a good cod and chips. Now I promised that after the posh burgers that we did, that I would show you how to do proper chips. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. So today I'm going to show you how to make a good quality fish and chips. Alright, I'm going to show you the ingredients. So here are the ingredients. So we have a good cod fillet. I'll show you where I've got those from later. A lemon, Maris Piper potatoes, self-raising flour, bicarbonate of soda, sparkling water, salt and pepper. Now the sparkling water, you can use normal water, that's fine because we're adding some bubbles, but it does make it extra light, okay? And then I've got gherkins, parsley and mayo, because I'm going to show you how to make tartar sauce as well, okay? So that's everything you need, okay? Very straightforward, really easy ingredients. Now, let me tell you about fish. So the fish I'm using today is not fresh, it's frozen. And I'll let you into a little secret. The majority of the fish that we get in this country is frozen. And the reason for that is that 85% comes from overseas. So what happens is that when they catch it, it has to be transported miles and miles to get to us. And what they do is they freeze it on board, okay, on board the boat. So what they do is they catch it, put it into a large freezer, deep freeze it really quickly, and then get it over here. So sometimes in the supermarkets, when you see the fresh fish counter, it is fresh, but what it is, it's normally been flash frozen on a boat, okay? And then they put it into the display and it's defrosted, okay? Nothing wrong with that. It just gives it a shorter shelf life, okay? And it's actually been proven recently in a recent survey and a study that actually the fish that is frozen so quickly that it's actually sometimes fresher than the stuff that's been defrosted and put on those counters, all right? Unless you live by the sea or near a lake, a great lake that does fishing, you ain't going to get fresh fish, okay? So what I've done is I've discovered Iceland. Now never shopped in Iceland before, and what I was looking for, you know what it was like in the first few weeks. I had to go out and look for flour, and I thought I'll try in there, and they had self-raising flour. It was like a woohoo moment. I couldn't believe it. So whilst in there, I saw a bag of cod loins, and they were whole cod tails like that, about £9 a bag. There was four or five of them in a bag. They were fantastic. And because of where I am, you know, as a chef in the industry, I asked the fishmongers how they defrost it. And the best way to defrost it is how I'm going to show you in the next clip. All right. So we're going to take the camera down, and I'm going to show you how we defrost and store the fish. Okay. So as you can see here, there's I've got a rectangular plate and standard blue kitchen cloth. You buy 10 of them for like 60p in the supermarket. Okay, now what this is going to do, I haven't unfolded it, it's kept it whole. It's going to soak up all the liquid from a defrosting piece of fish. I spoke to a fishmonger once who said about frozen fish being alright. See how rocket hard it is? Defrosting a bit there. Okay, you literally put it onto some kitchen paper or some blue cloth, and just leave it on there. All you want to do is literally leave it on there and defrost. Now what I do is this is the day before I'm going to cook, right? So I'm going to show you the next day, later on in the video. This is going straight in the fridge. Don't cover it. Just leave it to kind of dry in the fridge. What you don't want to do, just put it somewhere safe so it doesn't hit anything else. Just leave it in the fridge overnight and leave it to defrost all on its own. Don't worry about the cloth, that's going to soak up all the fluid, or the liquid from it. And it's going to be a nice, dry, firm piece of fish. Okay, I've done this with all the fish that I've bought from these guys, and it's worked a treat. Okay, so leave it overnight for the next day, and then get ready to batter these bad boys up. Okay, straight in the fridge. Okay, so it's the day after, the night before, and we're about to find out how our fish is looking. Okay, so I'm going to bring it out of the fridge. So here it is. Now what I did was, it's a bit difficult to see actually. Let's try that. Oh, there you go. So there you go. So what I've done is I've taken the fish out of the fridge, nice and cold, but it's nice and firm and dry. Now what I had to do was, because I've got 4 pieces here, because I'm doing four lots, right? When I defrosted it last night, I only showed you 2 pieces. So I've done is put a bit of kitchen paper in between, all right? But look, it's nice and firm, nice and cold, nice and dry. Still got a little bit of moisture, but it's drier than it would be if you'd have put it under water or put it in the fridge to defrost naturally and sit it in water. You don't want it sitting in water. You want to protect it from that, okay? So that's now nice and defrosted. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to make the batter, and I'm going to show you how I cut the potatoes, okay? I'm going to put these back. So for the chips, we're going to cut these chips up, okay? Nothing too dramatic, okay? So I've got a nice knife. Take this top off. There. Take the other side off. Now the secret to these chips is that you kind of try to make some funky roasties here, but they're kind of like chip roasties, alright? Deep frying them's okay, but you know, we've got to look at the amount of oil we use and things like that. We're already doing it with the fish. But look, take the corners off. Now what you're left is with a potato like this. So it's square, but it's just got some little bits of the skin. Not a drama. Looks alright, doesn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut them into nice chunky chips. So all the way down like that. Notice, even size. Okay? Look at that. Perfect. Turn them over like this. That's all you've got to do. Alright? Now, with these, how many chips do you want? I reckon, let's do 3 nice chunky chips. Look how nice they are. Nice and chunky. Look at that. Into the water. Leave them be. We'll take the starch off. Like that. Notice, nice and chunky. Alright? Same with these. Nice and chunky. Nice and even. That's the secret. Because when you cook them, you've got to cook them a bit like roast potatoes. You're cooking them nice and evenly, and you've all got to be the same size. Okay? These ones are going to be a bit chunky, but they'll be fine. Alright? They go in there. Another one. So, look, top. Towel. Go down, square them off. Okay? And you take them off. Now those bits you can roast up and have them as little kind of like wedges. Doesn't matter. Okay? So we need to take that eye off there like that. Right. Chunky. Nice and chunky. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay? Be careful not to cut yourself. Nice chunky chips. And again. Nice chunky chips. Look at those. They'd be great. Alright? This one, same. They might be a little bit more elongated because you've cut them into an end. It's okay. Do you know what? The beauty of chips is that they're not so uniformed. You go to a posh restaurant, yes they are. But do you know what? These days, people aren't as worried. Right, I'm going to cut that little bit off there because that's a bit not very nice. Just notice that? A bit old. It's okay. We'll make it work for us. Thing is, there's a lot of these videos where they try and show you perfection. And do you know what? In the kitchens at home, it's not always like that, is it? Have to make do with what we got sometimes. So there you go, nice squared off. Again, nice and chunky. Alright. So that'll do about 3 people, I reckon. Those amount of chips. Alright.
Powering on.
And that was my Bluetooth speaker turning off. Timing's everything. See, warts and all these videos. Okay. There you go. So look at those. All a bit chunky, all very nice, even size. Okay, look at that. Look, there you go. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these under the sink for a little bit until the water goes clear. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring them to the boil in some water. But I'm going to show you that in a second. Right? So, notice, water's nice and clear. See that? That's good. Wash all that starch off. The other thing is, you see the ends? Turn them into French fries. Look at those. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil them up. Literally for a couple of minutes to boil, hard boil for 2-3 minutes, drain them, freeze them, and then I can use them later for steak and chips, which I'm doing in a couple of weeks. All right? So freeze them, put them in a freezer bag, put them away, forget about them. That's all that the shops do with their frozen chips. Okay? All right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to put these bad boys in a pot. Okay, so we've got a pot. Now keep that water in there, you don't want that. You want it to go into a fresh saucepan of water. Okay? And that's it. Get rid of this. Pour that away. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put that on the stove. Okay? As you can see, the chips are in there. Right, really important this stage. I've got my little tub of Maldon sea salt. Put that in. Season them. Okay? That's it. Just a good like sprinkle, not a handful. Sorry, I just hit the camera there. Ignore me. Right, bring it to the boil. Leave it for like 2 to 3 minutes. They're chunky, but they won't take long. All right. When you do roast potatoes, it's about 5 to 8, 10 minutes, something like that, until they get soft. You want to boil them to the inch of their lives. What you don't want is you want to, they don't want to fall apart, but they need to be soft, okay? So when you fry them in the hot fat in the oven, they're going to crisp up quickly, right? Set your oven for over about 220, okay? 200 degrees Fahrenheit, centigrade, okay? I've got a fan assisted oven, so 220, probably a little bit more than that, about 250, something like that. It needs to be really piping hot. If you've got a gas oven, I would probably say about 8, 8.5, something like that. Give it some welly, all right? It needs to cook fast. Now these ones I've done for the kids. Look at those. Look. Hear that? All right. So these are slightly smaller, but these are cooking nicely in the oven. All right. Crisping up, perfect. Look at those. Okay. So we're going to do the same with the big ones for the adults. Okay. But look at those. Perfect. And they're practically cooked. I've just got to do their fish, which I'm going to show in a second. All right. But look at that. Boom. Hear that? Lovely. Perfect. Nice rustic chips. That's what you want. Okay. All right. Come back to me. I'm just going to finish boiling this up. Okay. Bring it to the boil, and then I'll show you how far we have to take them. Okay. 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 So the potatoes have been boiling for about 8 minutes, and watch this. So they are just about right. Okay. Watch when I show you one. Okay. This is how far they have to go. See, they break up. Okay. So what you want to do, get that in there and let it steam. Just leave it. Just let it steam for a little bit. Okay. Then what you do, you've got your oven on 200 degrees. Okay. So this one, because I used this for chips earlier, so it's got a little bit of the residual olive oil that I put on it. Okay. You can use beef dripping if you want to go full fish and chippy, but I use a bit of olive oil, does the trick. Okay. All right. Okay. So what you do is season them. Okay. Season them up. Okay, leave them to dry a little bit. Then what you do, give them a little bit of a shake. Like you would do roasties. Look. Oh, look at those. Beautiful. Okay. Let them dry for a little bit longer. Let them calm down a little bit. Let them do their thing. Alright? So I've let these dry a little bit. Okay, see that? Get rid of that. Alright, see that? Now what we do, drizzle a little bit of olive oil on them, give them a good shake, and get them in here. Nice and flat like that. Okay? Give them a bit of space. Lovely. Okay? And then we're going to give them a good old roast. Okay? They'll probably take about 15 minutes, something like that, on a hot oven. Okay? Season them up. And let's crisp these bad boys up. Give them as much space as you can. Probably there's a bit too many in there. Alright? But let's go. Top shelf of the oven for about 15-20 minutes, like I said. Alright, let's see what they're like later when we start cooking. Okay, so here we are. Got a bowl, ready for the batter. Okay, now I've read loads of articles on it before I did this vlog about different batters. Some people put their flour in the freezer. Some people put corn flour in it. Some people just use plain flour, which is quite a heavy batter. I like my batter to be quite light and a little bit crispy. Okay, and the secret of it is how you cook it and how you finish it off. All right. So, first of all, you need some sparkling water. So I've got some sparkling water here. I'm using water from the soda stream. So I'll basically get normal tap water and bubble it up. But just use you can use soda water. You can use anything really, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. And just make sure it's chilled. Okay. So your chips are cooking. You've got your sparkling mineral water ready. Now, to be honest with you, there's no hard and fast rule on this one. You want to try like a loose batter, one that's going to coat the fish, but equally be light. Okay. So what I tend to do is I tend to get a tablespoon. Basically, put, I don't know. It's a judgment call. Right, 4 tablespoons. This is do about 4 fish. All right. Okay, that's that. Put that down. A teaspoon of bicarb. You want it to go. You want it to blow up. All right. You're trying to create some bubbles here. And then I've got the sparkling water. All right. Oh, bit of salt. Bit of salt. Sea salt again. A little bit of pepper. All right. And then what you do, get a whisking. All right. Start whisking and add some. There's about 200 millilitres of water. All right. Keep them going. And see that? Really simple. Look. Okay. I'll show you in a minute. It's a bit of a funny lighting in here, but there you go. So give it a good mix. And what you'll see, right, that batter's too thick, alright? Look, it's too thick. You want to give it a little bit more. So, there you go, 200 mils, that do. 200 mils. Might just need, now I've gone mad, look, maybe a little bit more flour. You want it to be about 5 tablespoons, there you go, and 200 mils of water, and some bicarbonate of soda, which is a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And look, see the bubbles coming up. Look, bubbles, 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 bubbles. Look, see them coming up? That's what you're looking for, right? You might just give it a little bit more, a little bit thicker. See, it's a judgment call, you see? Just so it's got a nice, needs to hang on tight, right? But you need a nice bit of batter on there, all right? That's it. Job's a good one, okay? Now, let's fry some fish. Okay, so what you can see here is I've got a pan, which I use a wok because it's quite deep, but it's got a large circumference, so that when you put the fish in, it sits there and he's nice and happy. I've got it on a moderate to hot heat, okay? So it's kind of a medium flame, all right? Let me show you. Right, see that? Okay, not too fierce, but you want it to be hot enough so when the batter hits the oil, it shocks it and goes mental, okay? There's loads of theories that you let the mixture rest, which I have, for a few minutes, for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that, nothing too dramatic. Alright, I've seasoned the flour, which is here. So I've got a plate of flour, I haven't got much room, you see, so a plate of flour. I've got my batter ready here, all ready to go, that's nice. Alright, the other thing I've got is I've got this right next to the pan, which is a tray with a cooling rack on it, okay, that you use for your biscuits. Have that to one side. If you go to a fish and chip shop, what do they always serve you? They always serve you the fish from the tray, okay? let me just bring it up a little bit. Let's see what I'm doing. Right, see that tray? Alright. Okay, so what you've got is you've got a nice tray to put your fish on, alright? And I've got a rounded slotted spoon, ideal, alright? Perfect. This will do the trick. It will lift the fish up nice. This is all I've got. I normally have a wild one at work, but I'm at home. So, and what I've got is I've got my fish ready. So my fish is here. Okay. What you do is you put it in the seasoned flour. Okay. Coat it. Give it a nice coating of flour. That's perfect. Okay. Like that. Then you want to dip it into the test the oil. That's good. That's ready to rock. Okay. Then what we do is we get the batter, put it in, hold the end, make sure that's got a bit of batter on it, like that. Okay. If you want crispy bits, let it dribble a little bit, like that, and then like that, straight in the batter. Boom. That's it. Let's see what it does. Notice straight away it floats because of the air. All right. That's good. And then we'll just watch it cook for a little bit. Okay? Be brave. Alright? Yeah. Lovely. Some people put corn flour in it, some people don't. It's really up to you. Alright? Let it cook on one side. You can plunge it if you like. Turn it over. Lovely. Job's a good one. You want that batter to be nice and crisp. It's already crisp already. Right? Okay? Notice, I keep on turning it. Look at that. It's not as, it's doing the trick. It's quite close, that batter. I actually think I might need to thicken it up, but hey, it'll be fine. Let's turn the handle around this way. Okay. That's it. There you go. I'm going to crank it up a little bit more. We want to get that nice and crispy and brown. Look at that. Nice colour. Alright. You want to give it about 4 to 5 minutes in the batter. Okay, it doesn't take long to cook. They're quite thin pieces. If it's chunky, give it a little bit longer. But because of the way this pan is, you notice I've got plenty of room to manoeuvre. Does everything it says on the tin. All right. As I try and burn myself with the oil. There you go. All good, clean. Be careful, folks. Listen. Nice. Keep it going. A little bit longer. Alright. Then what we're going to do is we're going to lift this out in a couple more minutes. Look at that. Nice crisp batter. Alright. Some people like it exploding, that's if you use beer maybe, or some people put yeast in it, some people put corn flour in it. I've never put corn flour in it. All you want to do is try and make a nice crisp batter. Thick crisp batter can be sometimes too crunchy and the fish inside can be greasy. You don't want that, you want the fish to steam nicely inside the batter. That's what it's all about, okay? Look at that. Right, now we're good. Now we bring it out, be nice and careful, drain as much of that fat off as possible. This is where this comes into play. See that? You want to take that grease off, alright? Let it drain for a little bit. I'll turn this off for a minute. Alright? Let it drain. And then let's serve up. Okay, let's show you tartar sauce. Really easy, okay? Grater to one side, lemon, a small handful of parsley, some gherkins. Some people like onions in it, but it's not necessary. Such shallots, maybe. But all you've got to do is, depends how fine you want it. Gherkins, finely dice up, or as fine as you can do it. I like mine quite chunky. Okay. There's one gherkin there. I'm going to make a small amount. You can throw a little bit in there. We eat quite a lot of tartar sauce here. Okay. When you go into the supermarket, try and go to the Polish aisle if you've got one. They've got good pickles there, and these gherkins are lovely. Got a bit of a kick to them as well, and they're a hell of a lot cheaper. Okay, that's it. In the bowl, cut the gherkins. Okay, move that gherkin out of the way. Don't need that. Save that for later. Okay, chop up the parsley. Okay, nice and fine. If you washed it first time around, don't need to wash it again. You can do. There's some chefs, you put them in a tea towel and dry it out. This is going into a tartar sauce, so it's completely irrelevant. Well, that's it, nice and chopped, done. Okay, that's that. A little season, a little bit of pepper. That's that. Okay, we're going to put a bit of zest in there. So the nice fine one, not this one, it's rubbish. You want this one with a nice little like zester. Just a little tickle, that's it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut the lemon in half. Okay, move that to one side. Okay, this one is going in the tartar, so I'll take the pith out, make it look nice. Bit of lemon, that's it, job's a good one. Now, for your fish, you cut nice segments off like that. Alright, take the pips out, don't want those in your dinner. Trim that off. You can trim that off, make it look fancy. Then you've got a nice lemon wedge, that's it. Okay? So what you do, literally take the pith off there, take that there, make it look beautiful. Lovely, take that bit off there, you don't want that nasty. That's it, job's a good one. There you go, two nice lemon wedges. Okay, to finish this off, lemon wedges to one side. A good squidge of mayonnaise. Oh. That'll do. Grab a spoon, give it a good stir up, and there's your tartar. Lovely. Boom. There you go. Easy. Okay, set this aside. Okay, let's plate up. Now, chips out the oven. So they've been roasted in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, they're ready to go. So put them on. You know, bad boys, that sounds great, doesn't it? So, nice. Bit rustic, nothing too drastic. There you go, look, nice pile of chips. Okay. There you go, nice pile of chips. A nice dollop of proper mushy peas. Has to be mushy peas. Salt and pepper as well, make sure you season. That's it out of the way. And then my my fish, which has been sitting on the rack like that, okay? And then that goes on there like that, and a piece of lemon like that. And there you have my take on a good fish and chips. Look at that batter, boom, okay? Lemon, making it pretty, goes like that, perfect. There you go. And that is a good fish and chips. And yeah, hopefully you can all have a go at trying it, alright?